Welcome to another episode of The Stark Effect. I am your host, yours truly, Kaleef Starks. Thank you for watching the first episode. I saw the comments and I appreciate the support from the bottom of my heart. Today, I am excited to cover some of the latest entertainment news and trending topics. You know me, I'm your girl, and I've got you covered. Award season is upon us. We just wrapped up the Emmys and the Golden Globes, and also Megan Thee Stallion dropped a hot record called HISS last night. And also, too, the 2024 Super Bowl is up next. Stopping by as today's guest will be my dear friend and fellow pop culture girly, Monique Davis. Let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's sit down and let's have some chat. Monique Davis is a multimedia journalist pursuing a career in entertainment news. In 2020, she graduated from Cal State Dominguez Hills with a bachelor's degree in journalism. As an undergrad student, she was the co-editor of lifestyle and feature news for the campus newspaper. Here at USC, she is currently working towards her master's degree in journalism. I am so excited to have Monique here, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So welcome, Monique. It is such a pleasure to have you. You know, we are both pop culture girlies. We love us some good old entertainment. It's so exciting to have you.
Thank you for having me on your show. I couldn't wait to be a guest on your show.
No, it's such an honor, and I'm so excited. Like, this is going to be super, super fun. And we're going to start off today's show with a game called Cause and Effect. It's a cute little game. I don't even know the photos that we're going to use, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a few photos, and we have to guess what celebrity or public figure is in the photo and what event is actually taking place in the photo as well.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and let's have some fun.
Let's do it.
All right. So in our first photo, who do we think this is?
Ooh, that's kind of tough.
We see someone standing next to the Pope, and I know who it is.
You do? Well, I know it looks like they're at the Grammy Awards because you see the symbol in the back. My guess is terrible. Is it?
It's Roman. Who's Roman? Our good sis. Onika Tanya Mirage.
You think it's Onika?
This is Nicki Minaj at the Grammys standing next to the Pope for her performance of Roman Holiday.
Is it?
That's Nicki Minaj.
Oh my goodness, my guess was way off.
I think it's Nicki because we can't see the face, but I think that's Nicki Minaj.
I don't know why the hair, like the blonde hair, is making me think like Miley Cyrus or like Billie Eilish or something. I'm not sure.
Well, people in the comments will tell us the truth.
Oh my gosh.
But my vote is Nicki. Oh,
girl, it's Nicki. It's
Nicki.
Actually Nicki Minaj.
It's Onika Tanya.
A true barb. You are a true barb.
I'm a hottie too, okay? I'm an objective barb.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next photo here. Who do we have? This looks quite interesting.
I think I remember this speech exactly because she paid homage to my good sis, my favorite girly, Beyonce. So I'm gonna have to say that's Adele, giving a speech at the Grammys, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who this is, but let's go ahead and see. Oh, that's true. You're correct.
See, I know my things. I know my things.
That's Adele, honey. Sitting next to Mama B, honey. Okay, perfect. Who is in the next photo?
Oh
Here?
My goodness.
Because this is a big moment. And I feel like I have an idea.
I mean, it's out of this world. It's unusual.
It's one of the biggest girls, and we all know this iconic performance. I know who it is. I already know.
I would say
it's Miss Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
It's Gaga.
Okay.
So we both got that. Okay, we both got that one. That was super, super fun.
I loved it. I love this game.
Yeah, this game is super cute. And, you know, the cause and effect piece of it, you know, with Adele especially, that was when, I believe right after Beyonce received her Grammy, and Adele was paying homage and things of that nature. So this was super, super fun. So on to our next part of the show. I wanted to ask you, Monique, because once again, you are a fellow pop culture girly. I know that entertainment news is something that you're passionate about. Where did that begin for you?
I would say it began when I was like 13 because I grew up with this mindless behavior with Trevor Jackson and Jacob Lattimore. So I'm always wondering like, what were they doing? What's the latest news on them. And that just kind of expanded as I started liking more celebrities and more entertainment things like movies and stuff. So I've always wanted to keep up with like the latest things that were happening.
I could definitely relate because I always loved knowing not just the tea, but just the news of the tea.
Right.
And just being fascinated with the happenings of these people in their day-to-day lives, right? And figuring out how to actually build something out of that. That always drew me. I remember reading B. Scott. B. Scott was like such a pivotal influence. And also back in the day, it was a blogger called Nicole Bitchy. And I know there's this debate of like if bloggers are real journalists and all that stuff or whatever, but you know, and then of course you have your mainstream publications like People and all those things, but you know, I loved the juicy stuff with like Perez and all them. I know it's kind of bad, but I would say like B. Scott, Nicole Bitchy is where it really like sank in for me.
And one of the things that I really enjoyed as well is when like breaking entertainment news comes out, how Twitter just comes together and just like talks about it as a whole. So I'm always like, I want to get in on the tea and see what everybody else thinks about. So that really drew me
and
in
the
too.
people do come together on Twitter,
They sure
especially
do.
Black Twitter. But you know, the Caucasians and other races be there too. You know,
Yeah, I love
everybody be
it.
sitting together talking on Twitter. So with that being said, right, there we have our mainstream pop culture, you know, with the trending topics and everything, you know, the juicy things that we see in our day-to-day lives. What are some things that you've noticed within mainstream culture and trends, right? Do you think that it's all this like mainstream pop culture and trends? Do you think that a lot of the stories are the same, the trends are the same, the traction is the same? Let's talk a little bit about that.
I would say with the main pop culture, you see a lot of the trends come from Black culture. So I would say that when it comes to Black culture and like setting that standard, I've noticed it's kind of like difficult, especially like in the TikTok era where you can get famous off of making dances or making certain trends, how our community and people of color, how they are big on paying respect where it's respect is due, versus like the main culture, they will take something that's not really theirs to take and then they won't give credit. Like, I don't know if you saw, you know, the big Renegade dance with Jalea, I believe her name's Jalea Harmon, and she created the Renegade dance, and two other popular TikTokers got recognition from that, and she had to fight for her recognition. So I would say that's the biggest things that I've noticed.
I agree. You know, I've also noticed the thing of, you know, like probably independent outlets having connections. For example, B. Scott, right? B. Scott is known for, and I sound like a stan, but B. Scott is known for breaking tea about the Real Housewives, right? And oftentimes there's this relationship where B. Scott has those breaking stories first, but then, you know, certain housewives will probably go to People magazine and kind of look down on B. Scott being an independent multimedia maven and prefer People magazine over, when People magazine may not have the same reach as B. Scott with a direct audience, right? So those are some things that I've noticed as well. A really, really big hot topic that has the girls up in a tizzy is Megan Thee Stallion.
My goodness.
Megan Thee Stallion dropped her latest single called HISS. And I just want to say she had me shooketh, and I'm really happy for her because her and a few people who she dissed, they all have been going back and forth for years, especially our good sis, Onika Tanya Mirage. But what are your thoughts about the song HISS? How did you feel when you first heard it?
Well, to start off, I was gagged, and I literally had to pause it and sit there and like, my girl is really going off. And I'm a fellow hottie at heart, and I just think that she has been through so much in the past years, you know, and people can only take so much. So when she's starting to diss people, she's starting to say how she feels, it's like, you were messing with her, so if you can't dish it, don't do it, you know? So I support her. I love her.
I agree. Like, I support her. She came swinging with the bars. And, you know, I love female rap. I like all of them, right? I'm an objective bar, but I'm also a hottie, right? And Megan just came swinging full force. Sorry about that. Full force. She had the rhymes there. She took some shots at Drake and his liposuction and BBL. Took some shots at Onika Tanya Mirage, you know, for not saying her name. Okay. But, you know, Nicki Minaj was on live last night previewing her diss track.
Oh my gosh.
And the track's called Bigfoot, allegedly. It might be called Bigfoot, you know, disrespectful, making fun of that woman's foot, but it's a hot mess.
Oh my gosh. I just think it's insane. I literally got up and I clicked on Twitter and it was it was a mess. And I was like, what is going on? Let me listen to the song. And my girl, she really came through.
And they say Nicki's last name, Miss Petty. She was over there liking those tweets.
Yep, I saw that. And I was like, oh my God, this is just crazy.
The girls are fighting.
I know.
The girls are definitely fighting. What do you think about female rappers and beefing? Because for me, I feel that it's entertainment, right? It's okay to have when it comes to rap, we got to get to the studio and drop a hot 16. But what are your thoughts about this whole beefing thing in hip hop and female beefing?
But I feel like you said, it's obviously for entertainment purposes, but doing low blows, like making fun of someone being shot, I don't like things like that, So I think you should definitely keep it like, okay, like we're taking shots, but it's like surface level, not anything too crazy,
I totally agree. I feel that Nicki definitely, and I love Nicki. Barbs, don't do it, because I really love Nicki Minaj, but I'm an objective Barb. She's taking shots at someone's trauma. I'm just going to say that, right? But, both of them have been going back and forth.
Yeah.
If you are a fan, you can listen to the records on both girls. They both have been going back and forth for about the last 3 years. So, also, too, it's award season, right? So award season is super important. We just had the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice Awards, and also the Emmys, right? So starting with the Golden Globes, I know that comedian Joe Coy received a lot of backlash.
Yes. And I just think it was kind of well-deserved because the jokes that he was throwing out, it just didn't resonate with the audience and it didn't resonate with the viewers at home, and the shots he was taking at Taylor Swift. And the Swifties, they're not going to go for that. And I believe one thing that stood out to me with him is he was basically saying like, oh, the jokes that you guys don't think it's funny, I didn't write that. It was my writers. And it's like, why would you say that, on national television? If you're a host, you have to own it. You have to say it. And so I think he could have done a lot better. And I feel like the backlash he received, it's like, you got to take it because that's what you did.
Well, he did a big interview with a major outlet. I believe it was LA Times. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, y'all. I believe it was LA Times, where literally a few days after he was saying how people may think he did bad, but he feels that he did good. So he's giving himself an A.
Oh my
for
gosh.
how he did, but Joe Coy, maybe another time, right? Chelsea Handler did a good job at the Critics' Choice Awards. What were your thoughts about Chelsea? Because, Chelsea is a girl who is down with the swirl. That's why I like her, because she's a hoot, she's a funny. And she used to say 50 Cent back in the day. But what are your thoughts about Chelsea Handler and how she was as a host for the Critics' Choice Awards this year?
I think she came out swinging. I think the jokes were funny. They were organic. She had the crowd laughing from start to finish. And that's what you want to see as a host, someone who's going to be able to pull in the audience and have a good time. So I think she nailed it.
And she took a punch at Joe Coy, right?
And it was subtle. It was perfect.
Gotta get those ratings, girl. That's what I'm talking about. And as you know, when it comes to entertainment news, right? Who are some of the nominees that you've seen at all of the award shows? Because now we have the Oscars coming up, right? And a few of the girls have been snubbed, right? Such as Margot and Greta from Barbie. Ryan Gosling was the only one from Barbie who got an Oscar nomination. He was literally just a supporting actor. He wasn't even a main actor. Any thoughts about any of the nominees from any of these award shows and snubs?
I think everybody was just in awe that, Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie didn't get a nomination for the Oscars. So I think that is just like, really, like, come on, guys. Like, it was one of the biggest movies of 2023.
Literally.
So it's like not acknowledging their hard work. It's like, that was the point of the movie, is to show, how patriarchy is. And I believe also with The Color Purple, with the snubs of Taraji P. Henson and
our good girl Fantasia,
when that was such an amazing movie, so it's just like, really. But I think with the NAACP awards coming up and how they're getting their nominations and the recognition of Black people, it's like, okay, that's why it's important to have award shows like that,
I fully agree. And, with The Color Purple, I actually, wish that Taraji and Fantasia in particular got a bit more support, but at least Danielle Brooks got the Oscar nomination, right along with Coleman Domingo got the Oscar nomination for his portrayal of Rustin, Bayard Rustin. So, I'm just happy that this year a lot of people of color there were there at these award seasons, right along with Ali Wong and Stephen Yoon of Beef. I think that they are tremendous. I've watched Beef. It is an amazing show. And also our good sis Ayo as well has received a plethora of awards.
Yeah, they're definitely sweeping the awards so far, and I'm very proud of them, just seeing people of color getting their recognition,
So, during award season so far, there have been three shows that have been sweeping the categories, right? Those top three are Succession, The Bear, and Beef. They have been coming in storming. Do you feel that like maybe other shows should have gotten a little bit more? Sorry, not shows, but shows and Netflix series and movies and things of that nature, television and film should have gotten more attention? Because I feel like The Color Purple could have gotten a little bit more.
I definitely think the shows that got attention are well deserved, but I do agree, like you said, that other movies and shows could have gotten more recognition, especially The Color Purple, because I know for me, when I went to see that movie, I was bawling my eyes out, and I was like, this is the type of stuff I like to see, you know? So I definitely think that they could have gotten more attention, but that's just how the award season is. And, but I think, like I said, with the NAACP awards coming up, that the recognition is going to be given.
And, a lot of the individuals who have won, I feel that The Crown should have gotten a little bit more as well. I think that the lead actress's portrayal of Princess Diana was phenomenal. But to touch on NAACP and the Grammys coming up, I know that there are several people in the categories who are, up in arms. So who are you rooting for at the Grammys? Because for me, I love me some Victoria Monet.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
so proud of her. Her album, Jaguar 2, is a classic. So who are you rooting for?
I'm definitely rooting for my girl, Victoria Monet. I mean, she's definitely finally getting the recognition she deserves. She's been putting out music for so long, and it's like, finally, my girl's in the spotlight. I'm definitely going for my girl, Coco Jones, another girl who's finally stepping in the spotlight. Both of these girls are so talented, and it's like, it's finally... the world is starting to see that. I'm also going for my guy, Usher. I love him. He's nominated for his song Good Good, so I'm hoping to see him win. And yeah, those are my big top three.
I'm also, too, outside of Victoria, I'm going for Tyla. Tyla is a South African pop star. Love me some Tyla. She was nominated for Water. And I'm also going for Doja Cat with Attention. She was nominated for the song Attention.
Okay.
So those are some of the girls I'm going for. And of course, I do love Onika. I'm going for Nicki too for Barbie World. Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice for the Barbie World song. That was a big song this year. So awesome. Okay, well this was super, super fun. Let's see here. So as when we talk about media and pop culture, we know that there has been a lot going on, right? Media, pop culture, journalism. LA Times is firing everyone. It's insane. Earlier this week, they laid off 115 people, right? A lot of things are happening in our media landscape, right? Right along with the HBO show, Rap-ish, being canceled. That's the Issa Rae produced show, Rap-ish, which has sparked a lot of conversation about how over the last 3 years, ever since 2020 hit and we had the big movement. We were in a time of social movement with the killing of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, and it made a lot of companies feel some type of way to where, Black content was receiving a lot of support. Over the last 3 years, a lot of shows have been canceled. Lovecraft Country, the Black Lady Sketch Show. How do you feel about this?
It's really devastating to see because, as a Black woman growing up, I need to see that representation on my TV screen. And when we finally have it, it's like, yes, this is what we need. This is what young Black girls need. This is what women my age need. And to have that canceled, it's like, where's our representation? You have to invest in these shows so that people like me and people like us can see themselves on TV.
I agree 100%, and not even just Black content, I'm genuinely like super happy that this year, the AAPI community are getting a lot of recognition, right? Ali Wong is such an amazing actress. Stephen Yoon, like Beef is insane. I think you should check it out because it's such a good show. It's based off of what happens when individuals experience road rage and how far it could go, right? So for me, I'm just so happy that representation is occurring. America Ferrera was also nominated for an Oscar.
Right.
So yes, I'm just super, super excited. And it was such a pleasure to have you on my show.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here.
Where could the people find you, and do you have anything coming up?
I have a few things in the works, but we're going to keep that on the hush hush for right now until I can get that figured out. But you can follow me on Instagram at Monique Chantel 5. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Monique.
Thank you.
And you all can find me on Kaleef Now. That's KALEEFNOW. Thank you all for watching and subscribing. I see the comments. I appreciate y'all. Tell a friend about the show. And girlfriend, that's all. I will call you later. All right. Bye.
Bye.